You ever see two fighters who look like they were built to fight each other? Like one's pure control, the other's pure chaos, and when they meet, something wild's about to happen. That's Steve Garcia and David Onama. Nobody's talking about this fight, but I'm telling you this could be the one Evie Irione remembers after the night's over. Because think about it, what happens when a calculated veteran meets a dude who fights like a lightning bolt? When control meets explosion, does experience survive or does raw power rewrite the script? This isn't just another matchup. This is violence wait enemy orienting to happen. So grab your seat because once that cage door closes, it's not about game plans anymore. It's about who survives the storm. You ever notice how sometimes the best fights on a UFC card aren't even the ones that get promoted? It's always that one matchup sitting halfway down the post into Posenar that ends up stealing the whole damn show. That's exactly what Steve Garcia versus David Onama feels like, a fight that's quietly boiling under the radar. There's no trash talk, no fake rivalry, no overhyped face-offs, and that's what makes it raw. Both these guys are fighters. Fighters, they don't care about the spotlight, they care about the fight. Garcia's that kind of dog who's been grinding through the system, fighting for respect, not fame. Onama's the opposite energy, young, explosive, and hunting for that viral knockout. You put those two energies in one cage, and you're basically Liga NRH-18, a stick of dynamite. And you can tell, man, the tension in this fight is going to be electric. Steve Garcia has been in wars before. He's felt that pressure. He knows what it's like to be hit and keep walking forward. Onama is that guy who ends fights before they even start. The dude's got T-Bar Sana under in his hands and ice in his eyes. It's going to come down to who lands first, who makes the mistake, and who can take that one shot and still stand tall. That's why I love these sleeper fights, because there's no script. Nobody expects it. Nobody's betting their paycheck on it. And suddenly, burns or earns into a bloody masterpiece. It's like watching chaos unfold in slow motion, pure instinct, pure heart, no BS. These are the fights that remind you why we love this sport, because for 15 minutes, anything can happen, and one moment can change everything. This isn't just a fight, it's a stindy RBR on arm waiting to happen. Man, Steve Garcia's story is one of those you don't appreciate until you actually watch his old fights back to back. This dude used to be a straight-up brawler, chin out, gloves down, ready to throw down with anybody. There was no strategy, no pacing, just pure adrenaline and violence. But lately, you can see something different has slowing the chaos down. He's learning how to think inside the storm. That's evolution, right? When you start realizing that being tough isn't enough, you got to be smart too. He's not just throwing bombs anymore, he's setting traps. You'll see him feint, bait the counter, and then step off line to land clean. It's a small thing, but that's what separates a wild fighter from a real contender. The crazy part is, even though he's evolving, the wildness isn't gone, it's just controlled now. And that's scary for someone like Onama. Because NRE, when a fighter learns to use his chaos with precision, that's when you start seeing dangerous knockouts. The question is, can he keep his cool when Onama brings pressure? Can he resist that urge to brawl when the cage gets small and the crowd starts roaring? That's the real test. You can train all you want, but discipline under fire, that's earned. If Garcia can mix his new composure with that old killer instinct, this fight could be the one that defines him. The dude's right on the edge of something big. You can feel it, like a fighter finally realizing who he's supposed to be. There's Pow, Imbar, ER, and then there is Onama Power. You know, the kind of M, talking about that terrifying snap that doesn't even look hard until you see the replay in slow motion and realize the other guy's soul just left his body. David Onama has that gift, has not swinging wild, has calculating destruction. There's this calm before the storm in him, that cold, locked-in stare before he throws, has not rushing, has reading. And when he decides to pull the trigger, man, it's like watching a light switch get flipped off inside someone's head. That's the difference between power and danger. Some fighters hit hard. Onama hurts people. But what makes him fascinating isn't it just his knockouts, it's how efficient he is. No wasted motion, no unnecessary flash. Hes not trying to look cool, Hes trying to end the fight. You watch his last few performances, and it's obvious he's evolving from just being a BNDR anger into a composed assassin. That's when fighters become real problems, when they understand their weapon and learn how to time it. And with someone like Steve Garcia, that's where things get interesting. Because Garcia has grit, has tough as nails, but toughness only lasts as long as your chin does. One clean shot from Onama, and all that strategy goes out the window. What I love about fights like this is that Onama isn't chasing a belt, yet Hes chasing a moment. Every fighter has that fight where they go from promising to problem, and this could be it. If he lands that one viral KO or knockout, if he starts as a guy like Garcia, people start remembering his name differently. They start watching his highlights. They start expecting chaos every time he walks out. That's how you build a reputation in this sport, one violent moment at a time. So yeah, Onama's power isn't just physical, it's psychological. When he steps into that cage, everyone, including his opponent, feels it. You ever notice how some fights aren't really about who's better, but about who can keep their identity longer under pressure? That's what this fight is. Garcia's the guy who wants to control the tempo, stay disciplined, pick his shots. Onama's the chaos merchant. He thrives in disorder. He wants exchanges. He wants things messy. So this is a pure psychological dual control versus explosion. Every second in that cage is a tug of war for rhythm. The real fight isn't the punches, it's the patience, and patient Garcia will try to slow it down, jab his way in, make it technical. Onama's gonna test that composure, throw something wild, maybe a flying knee, maybe a looping hook, just to see if Garcia bites. And that's where the trap is, because once Garcia starts fighting emotionally, it's over. The moment or an hour it's he stops thinking and starts reacting. That's when Onama wins. That's the beauty of MMA. It's chess played at 100 miles per hour. But the flip side, if Garcia can stay calm through the storm, if he can frustrate Onama and make him chase, then suddenly the chaos flips. Because pressure cuts both W and DRNAs. Onama's never liked being dragged deep. He's a sprinter, not a marathon runner. If Garcia can weather that early explosion and keep his structure, he might just watch Onama's fire burn out in real time. That's when experience takes over. So this fight isn't just about skill. It's about mental ENDR and endurance. It's about which man can impose his rhythm and make the other doubt himself. And that's what separates good fighters from great ones, how long they can stay themselves when everything's falling apart. I'll be honest, man, this fight feels like one of those don't blink situations. Both of these guys have that finish or be finished DNA. You can see it in their eyes when they walk out. They're not thinking about the judges. They're thinking about highlights, about ending the night early, and that's what makes this fight unpredictable as hell. You can't analyze this one with puristine and BRATS. You gotta feel it. Garcia's got the experience, the grit, the composure. Onama's got that terrifying explosiveness and knockout potential. It's the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object, and something's gotta give. If Garcia can drag it out past the first round, I think it tilts his WBRY. But if Onama finds that opening early, man, this thing could end in a heartbeat. You'll just hear that thud and see someone collapsing before your brain even catches up. That's the beauty of it, right? These fights remind you why you love MMA, because every second counts. No storyline, no dram-hitty RNA, just raw fighting spirit, two men locked in a cage, no excuses, no hiding. So yeah, prediction? Don't blink. Because if you do, you might just miss the knockout of the night. You know what's crazy, man? This is one of those fights that might not have the biggest names, but it's got that raw N and Y that built this sport in the first place. Two guys stepping into the octagon, not for fame, not for clout, just to test who's got more fight in them. That's the heart of MMA. You don't need titles or trash talk to make it special. You just need warriors who refuse to quit. And that's exactly what Garcia and Onama are bringing. You can feel it, the hunger, the pressure, that quiet confidence before the storm. This fight's got the kind of energy that turns casual fans into believers. Because no matter who wins, somebody's walking out of there changed. Maybe it's Garcia proving has evolved an NDR to something dangerous. Maybe it's Onama announcing himself as the next knockout machine. Either way, it's going to be violent, it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to remind us all why we love this crazy sport. So here's what I want you to do. If you're as hyped for this fight as I am, hit that like button, drop your prediction in the comments below who you got, the veteran grit of Garcia or the raw chaos of Onama. And don't forget to share this with your fight buddies, because trust me, this one's going to blow up once it happens. And if you're new here, subscribe, because we don't just watch fights, we feel them, we break them down, and we talk about the stories behind the violence. This is what MMA is all about: truth, heart, and chaos. See you fight night, and remember, don't blink.